Fnaf Security Breach Ruined DLC is finally out with a large expansion on the original game, showing the aftermath of what happened to the pizza place after it was destroyed. This time around, Cassie, the protagonist of the game, visits the abandoned complex in order to find Gregory, who leaves her a suspicious message to go and rescue him as he's trapped there.
Gregory? Gregory? You there? I got your message.
Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, and welcome to Ruined DLC, a game that I have been really looking forward to. If you have any game or video suggestions, make sure to send them to me on my Twitter or subreddit. Keep in mind that this video will have spoilers not only of the DLC but also the original game, and with that in mind, let's begin. The story continues after the main game, where the new protagonist called Cassie, a girl similar age to Gregory who seems to be his friend, getting asked to visit the now abandoned and badly derelict pizza place in order to help the missing Gregory. If you remember from the main game, we have quite a few endings, with one of them seeming to be the canon one, where Freddy and Gregory fight off Burn Trap, which leads to the pizza place burning down while they escape the aftermath. So it is quite questionable if whoever has asked Cassie to come to the pizza place is actually Gregory or simply an imposter trying to lure Cassie in. Exploring the once colorful and well-lit pizza place, which is now completely run down with graffiti all over due to people frequently breaking in and vandalizing the place even further, Cassie notices markings of Vanny, the glitchy bunny, depicting how she might still be alive. That's when Cassie hears the voice of Gregory coming from a walkie-talkie designed with Roxanne Wolf's image, pleading with Cassie to help him as something grabbed him, being now in the sinkhole under the raceway of the pizza place. That's when he suddenly cuts off communication, making it even more questionable if that's really Gregory or not.
Are you there? Over here! I'm trapped!
Gregory? I got your message. Where are you?
Help! Something grabbed me! It won't let me go! You have to find me! I'm trapped in the sinkhole under the raceway!
After being startled by a few decommissioned robots who sustained damage beyond repair, including the badly damaged Chica, Cassie finds a tool she calls Fast Wrench, something that she remarks is very similar to the tool that her father has. As Cassie makes her way down through the sewage pipe, the horribly broken and damaged Montgomery Gator reveals himself lunging at Cassie, throwing her into the body of water behind her, which in a way cushions her fall, saving her from hitting her head or body on a hard surface. As we know from the main game, Monty was damaged badly and lost his lower half of body in an accident trying to get rid of Gregory. That's why now Monty can be seen crawling around, even fitting through crawl spaces. As she gets out of the water, finding herself in the Monty Gulf, an infobot wearing a Vanny mask offers Cassie another Vanny mask, which allows her to see the world in Vanny's perspective, which gives any wearer the ability to see through objects and even pass through certain items and doorways, in a way giving whoever wears it the abilities that Vanny had, glitching and appearing suddenly in different parts of the pizza place. This explains Vanny was probably just a normal person behind the mask, but the mask allowed her to have those abilities. The mask is also referred to as a security mask, which hints out whoever worked in the security obtained one to make identifying problems and issues in the complex easier. So, who was working as security in the pizza place? It was Vanessa, which means Vanessa could have been Vanny all along. Using the Fast Wrench to access one of the Fazbear Technician remote camera stations, which can be found throughout the pizza place, Cassie manages to progress further. Helpy, the virtual assistant in the mask, explains that the experienced employees had the ability to use the intercom recordings to mimic someone's voice to direct animatronic performers to a certain location. This means that Vanny managed to exhibit such abilities due to wearing the mask. She also was able to control the robots while having gaining access to the Fazbear camera stations. Progressing further, Cassie receives another intercom message from Gregory telling her to turn off the security nodes in order for him to be released wherever he is. His communication with Cassie, despite seemingly being live, is not fluid at all and seems one-sided, with Gregory just repeating his demands and what he requires rather than explaining them and answering Cassie's questions, making it even more uncertain if it's actually Gregory behind the intercom messages or not.
Turn off all security. Turn it all off.
Security? What are you talking about? None of this makes sense.
Security knows. Find them and turn them all off. I can't get out until that happens.
Gregory? Security nodes?
As Cassie continues to disable more security nodes, she observes the terrifying AR glitch bunny slowly approaching her, trying to capture her, who is invisible to the naked eyes, but through Vanny AR mask he can be seen. As Cassie is instructed to go to the daycare, she walks through a big screen which soon disappears as if acting like a portal, which confuses Cassie to how that would be possible, with Helpy even saying Cassie is seeing things and everything appears to be normal. Entering the daycare, Cassie gets stopped by a fan-favorite character, the daycare attendant, or the Moon and Sun. Sun, appearing to be suffering internally, tormented by his alter ego or internal counterpart, of course the Moon, asks Cassie to turn the generators on in order to put Moon at bay, who only appears when it's dark, so Cassie can reboot him. This means the animatronics could be malfunctioning, that's why they became hostile, with a reboot possibly fixing their system. After managing to turn on the generators and trapping Moon and Sun, Cassie reboots his system, which in turn summons Eclipse, a very caring persona which takes Cassie to safety outside of the daycare, as the Moon can be dangerous if he would ever emerge again. Moon and Sun is also seen actually being able to fly around the daycare, which explains how he was able to move around in different spots in the main game. Trying to turn off another security node, Cassie enters a place full of endoskeletons who move around in the darkness and freeze in presence of light. When Cassie uses the AR mask, however, she becomes invisible to them, which yet again reveals how Vanny could bypass them so easily. Managing to go further with Gregory unlocking some of the segments of the complex, Cassie becomes suspicious on how Gregory can do any of this, which he conveniently mentions that he would explain when Cassie gets to him, as he's chased after by something. At this point, whoever is mimicking Gregory's voice is being downright obvious and being too sus, but Cassie seems to be completely oblivious and still carries on to get to him. Cassie soon comes across Chica, who is badly damaged, still alive somehow after being crushed in the main game. She is seen roaming around aimlessly, calling out for Gregory and collecting trash to eat. Soon after, Cassie enters the Vanny network, which is how each part of the Pizzaplex is controlled. In there, the virtual assistant, Helpy, mentions that Cassie is safe as the glitch rabbit won't be there, but after some time, it turns out it was far from truth, as a very large glitch rabbit appears, with Helpy having a sassy attitude that it mentions it should be safe, and never said it is. After leaving the network safely, Cassie reaches the Roxy Raceway, where she is roaming around looking for her eyes. At some point, Roxy captures Cassie and demands for her eyes to be given back, but when she hears Cassie's voice, she instantly lets go, indicating that Roxy is probably after Gregory or someone who has taken her eyes, as she let go of Cassie as soon as she hears her voice, even apologizing.
Give me back my eyes!
Ah! Let go! Let go!
I'm sorry. Error.
After communicating with a strange-sounding Gregory, she gets instructed to deactivate the remaining security nodes in Bunny's Ball and Phaser Blast in order to get under the raceway. After deactivating the security node in Bunny's Ball, Cassie enters a vent which takes her straight to the Phaser Blast. On her way to disable the node, Cassie comes to a terrifying sight of a prototype Freddy with his stomach being broken, forming some sort of a mouth, chasing after Cassie. Cassie narrowly escapes, turning off the node when she is contacted by Gregory again, who instructs her to deactivate Roxy as she as the last node. This might sound like a very strange request, as how could she be a security node? But we're gonna get back to this a little bit later, and it's going to clarify itself.
Almost. There's still one node left that's keeping the underground sealed.
Where?
Roxy's the final node. You need to deactivate her.
But
Deactivate her and save me. Save me, Cassie, please. It's so dark down here.
At this point, Gregory's voice is very glitchy and distorted, clearly showing that he is not really Gregory. Yet, Cassie continues on, believing that she's saving her friend. Roxy is clearly not a malfunctioning animatronic here as well, as she released Cassie earlier on. When Cassie finds her, she is pinned on the floor with a forklift, as if someone ran over her. She instantly recognizes Cassie and wishes her a happy birthday, saying how she remembers her when she had her special day. Seemingly, Cassie had one birthday in the Pizzaplex, going to the raceway, but despite that, Cassie deactivates her, apologizing to her, being determined to save Gregory.
Welcome back, Cassie.
you remember me?
Your special day. I remember. Your special day. Do you still like carrot cake? It has been some time since I saw you last. If I remember correctly, it is on the 11th. I remember because you are number 1, twice. Have you booked your party? I'm sure your friends will show up this time. Cassie? What are you doing?
Sorry.
I love carrot cake. Happy birthday, Cassie.
Fox. I'm sorry.
Cassie, being saddened by what she did, shutting down Roxy, moving on while crying, she manages to locate the underground where Gregory instructed her to enter. Down in the underground, she comes across a door barricaded with concrete poured all over it, clearly not being a good sign. But with Gregory's pleas, Cassie opens it up, coming across a horrifying, monstrous robot who has been mimicking Gregory's voice since the beginning, trying to lure Cassie in to free itself. Oh boy, what a surprise. Just as the mimic tries to attack Cassie, something very unexpected happens. Roxanne Wolf, after being deactivated, appears at the right moment, protecting Cassie before losing to the mimic and possibly losing her life. Being a hero, sacrificing herself, showing what a true hero she is. This explains why the mimic instructed her to deactivate Roxy, lying that she is a security node, as she apparently acted as a security for Cassie, protecting her against the horrifying mimic. So apparently for the mimic, she was a threat. Cassie, meanwhile, runs away with the mimic chasing after her, with the real Gregory then contacting her, explaining that he's been trying to reach her for all night, as he realized an animatronic has been planning to trick her to go to the Pizzaplex, and that Gregory is not in the Pizzaplex at all. As Cassie narrowly escapes the mimic, entering an elevator, Gregory contacts her and explains that he and his friend, seemingly being Freddy, cannot be discovered and followed, especially as the mimic is a robot that has been trapped in the underground for a long time, but Cassie disabled all the security and let it out. He apologizes to Cassie before the elevator drops, ending the game, as if suggesting Gregory detach it so Cassie dies or gets trapped in the underground, stopping the relentless mimic from following her, eventually leading to Gregory and Freddy.
The Nexus security program was designed to keep it hidden, but you shut down the security, and now it's free. It's not your fault. I know you did it for me, to save me, but we can't risk being followed. I'm sorry.
Gregory? No!
Just a quick backstory about the Mimic. Mimic is a powerful endo made of steel and other strong material, being 7 feet tall. In its backstory, he obtained extreme violent tendencies, killing so many in its way. He's also an intelligent robot which, as we saw in the game, can easily mimic other people and trick them. This is why Gregory is absolutely terrified of it, and he knows if Cassie is saved and let back up, it's very likely the Mimic would follow her and go after him and wreak havoc. This is just a quick backstory of who Mimic is, who I will explain in a following video. Now, this was the normal ending which can easily be achieved, but there are a few more endings which are really ambiguous. Another ending is achieved when Cassie puts on the AR mask in front of a Fredbear cutout, which shows her an image of Gregory with Helpy and Vanessa in a green sunny field enjoying some ice creams. This is followed with a line of Gregory mentioning that he is hiding in a safe spot and that he's all okay. This is accompanied by Cassie panicking in fear, with her fate unknown, as the mask appears to hide her from the animatronics, but I'm not too sure if that's also working with the Mimic. It's also a little strange for Gregory to say that, as he is not in the Pizzaplex and seemingly completely safe, so why would he say that he is hiding? So I'm thinking this might come from the Mimic as well, before Cassie meets her doom. The final ending includes Cassie going through a series of doors reaching the scooper machine room, where she traps the Mimic, who gets scooped in a traditional way where many animatronics got scooped. This seems to destroy the Mimic with the game ending, but honestly at this point anything is possible. We saw all the animatronics coming back to life after getting destroyed in a variety of ways, yet still managing to revive. So Mimic being built even with stronger materials than the rest will be most likely still alive. The DLC ended abruptly, but clearly there's gonna be a follow-up to the story, if not through games, definitely through the books. I already have many theories about the story, which I will make some videos about later, so make sure to stay tuned. Alright folks, that's about it for this video. What are your thoughts and theories about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, it's been your host Dar. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next video. Have a fantastic day.